So welcome ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to today's video. And I've been slacking recently, I know, I've just been lazy to be fair, but I've just been kind of taking a back seat because we know this year's been a bit of a mess with eFootball not even really launching, and then FIFA obviously came out. I've been streaming here and there. I did plan on streaming yesterday folks, but I had a pounding headache so it just didn't happen, but I'm going to get back to it. And then next month, depending on if the eFootball actually launches, then we can dive into all that. So I'm going to start covering a little bit more news and stuff like that. But today I wanted to talk about, well, first of all, the update that got delayed. And I think we all know that by now because it was meant to be out tomorrow. And then the survey. There is a survey that I want you guys to all go ahead and do. It takes about 10 minutes. It's simple questions. I actually sat here and did it live on camera. And then I realized that my audio wasn't recorded. So, you know, it's just me going, yeah, that really works. So here we are again, twat. But I'm going to go through it real quick and just show you the pre-recorded video. All right, so the first piece of news, as stated, is the eFootball update that includes bug fixes was delayed to November. Doesn't say which November, but you would hope that it is next month. It says Konami needs more time before launching the new patch for everyone. And is this a smart thing? I mean, yes. Yes. As much as we all may be disappointed because we want our PES kind of fix. But there's no doubt that this game in no shape or form is ready to launch in the state that it's ready to launch in, if you know what I mean. So them taking a little bit more time to come out with a 0.91 patch. I mean, for me, just do a 1.0 patch, get it all ready, and when it's ready to launch, then launch the game. What I don't want Konami to do is launch this just because they want to launch it. Just because they know they've got to meet deadlines. No, if you have to delay a game, that's going to actually help the series because it's not ready and it needs a lot more polish and they need to take our feedback and put it in the game, whether they will or not, then do it. But there's nothing worse than them launching something next month and then we're looking at it and going, well, this isn't much more of an improvement than what we've played. So yeah, I don't really care that it's been delayed. In fact, I'm happy it's been delayed. Yeah, it means that I can't really stream a whole lot. And yeah, generally this is more of a PES channel and I like playing those types of games. But you've got to understand that this is also a very, very, very big decision for Konami. If they get this wrong and it goes tits up, well, I don't know if they're going to be able to bounce back, to be fair. So, yeah, there's the actual official word. It's going to be out sometime November. Sometime. They haven't mentioned a time, folks. Whether this is going to delay the official launch of the game modes of online, once again, we don't know. But we're just going off of this post that they tweeted out a couple of days ago now. When was this? October the 22nd. And I'm sure we're all disappointed about it. But as I say, if it needs to be done, it needs to be done. Anyway, there's the first piece of news. Now let's dive over to the questionnaire. All right, the questionnaire. So what you'll want to do is head over to their actual page, or I'm going to leave the link in the description. I'm going to leave the link in the pinned comment as well for you guys to go ahead and do. They do say we're very grateful for your comments and suggestions on how to improve the game. We take your feedback seriously. But do you? But do you? And we are working hard to improve the game. Well, it really isn't that hard to improve it. So there we go. Now the survey patch period is from the 26th to the 29th. You've got a couple of days to get this done. And they did state it's about 10 minutes. It's about 100 questions, but they're very, very simple questions. So I'm going to bring up the video that I did with me not talking because the audio, idiot. But anyway, that way I can show you just real quickly the questions, the answers I gave, and then go from there. So here we go. All right, so head over to the link and you can be greeted by the lovely blue color scheme, which you can actually, is actually a question in there, folks, about the color scheme. So make sure you give it a 1. Do not be giving it any more than that. So go ahead, go in there, click on English, of course, and I'm just going to speed through this. So you first of all put in your age. I'm 33, wouldn't you know? Whack that in. I'm in the United States. Put where you live. Put which platform you're on. You can't specify 2, which is what I was like, well, why can't I say I played on Steam and PS5? But You can only pick one. No search limit for me. And then how many matches? Just always put 11 or more, even if you haven't played that many. Seriously, just put it, because they'll probably take your feedback a little bit more respectably. And then you just go through the questions. So you've got 5 for satisfied, 1 for dissatisfied. And I pretty much went through here, and I was just giving them a bunch of like 2s for that. It was talking about sort of the dribbling ability, how players run, how would you rate the dribbling response in online event mode matches. This was more about kind of the responsiveness of dribbling and like the satisfaction of crossing and passing. And there just isn't enough depth, you know, with those functions to be able to give this a 4 or a 5. Like shooting, there's like 2 ways to shoot. You've got a normal shot and you've got a curve shot. That's it. There's no like low shots. There's no way to do, you know, flip the ball up and do a bicycle kick, do a volley, you know, just funny things like that. But, you know, you get my point. There's not enough depth there to really even warrant this being a 4 or 5. So I just went through, and if I didn't really care too much, I kind of put neutral. But yeah, just plow through, folks. Put what you want. How satisfied are you with the ability to control the trajectory of passes? Do you feel there is enough variety? Once again, there's not enough variety there to be able to even warrant a higher score. How satisfied are you with the variety of crosses? I mean, you've got low cross, you've got a high cross if you want, and maybe a medium cross. They may have even got rid of a high cross, to be honest. How would you rate the pass response? Well, the responsiveness is still, for me, a little bit off, so we'd like that to be improved. How satisfied are you with the passing speed? I think it's too slow. I think there needs to be a little bit more oomph. Not FIFA fast online, because that's mental. But they definitely need to crank up the speed. The shooting controls are intuitive and easy to perform. Nah, I wouldn't agree with that. How satisfied are you with the shooting controls? Once again, they're very dumbed down. There's no way that Konami are going to get this survey and have, like, 4 or 5s and expect, oh, we don't need to make too many changes. This is the problem. They're going to get this feedback now. They should have probably put this feedback and survey out earlier this month, because they're going to get this back and go, core blimey, we've got a lot of work to do, folks. 100%. Yes, you do. As you move down, there's actually one about the goal net physics. There it is. Looks realistic. And I was like, no, they don't. They look very, very bland. There's not a lot of movement. The net sound a little bit better from what I've heard from old games. Is it FIFA level? Oh, no, it's not. FIFA has really blown me away this year with the whole next-gen net physics, which I didn't think I'd be a big part of and really care about. But I'll tell you what, folks, it does make goals sound and look much better. How satisfied are you with the ability to kick set pieces the way you intend? Once again, I think I'd put kind of neutral here, because it's a set piece, you know, they're pretty easy to score for the most part. Then it spoke about corners. How would you rate the responsiveness of feints? Once again, I mean, it's too slow online to really pull off the skill moves. And then we move forward to this one. So here we've got satisfied, somewhat satisfied again, and all the way down to dissatisfied. And then it spoke about kind of defending. How satisfied are you with the ability to defend the way you intended? Again, that kind of all stems into the game not being responsive enough, which makes defending harder and more of a chore. Now, I'm all for manual defending. I don't mind it, right? I'll learn it. We'll get used to it. But it's not fun to defend right now, because the game's just the way it is. And then it spoke about players that have higher defensive attributes are noticeably better at defending than with lower. And it's like, well, nah, once again, the player ID's lacking, as we say. I mean, they even have something on here, I think, later on about tactics. And it's like, well, there are no tactics. You got rid of them all. You made them so basic, we can only pick 5 of them. So we carried on plowing through. The attackers do their best to score a goal, while the defenders give all they have to stop the ball. I think I said when I was recording this that that's something that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would say to the boys in the dressing room. Right, attackers, you go out there and attack. Defenders, you stop the ball. Does that sound good? Yeah. I don't know what kind of a comedy gold statement that was. How satisfied are you with the physics when clearing the ball? I mean, you just press clear. So I think that was one of the very few 4s I gave. I didn't give any 5s, by the way. I think I maybe gave 1 or 2 4s later on. But that was it. And then it was talking about red cards. How satisfied are you with the goalkeeper's abilities? I put that as a massive 1 because they still jump far too high and they're still far too unrealistic in that regard. Here we go. I gave it a 1. Hesitation, not there. Different teams have noticeably different play strategies. Well, not really. Once again, this all stems down to the game not having enough tactics, not enough variation. Football is a crazy sport, man. You know, loads of teams, if they don't get the tactics right, look at Manchester United right now. It's a mess because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doesn't know the tactics. So, yeah, if you don't have them, and what did I put there? A 5? I wish I had more. Oh, yes, I did put a 5 for that one because I wish I had more options when issuing commands to teammates when attacking. Yes, I want my teammates to make runs when I ask them to make the runs. Because they've removed that feature, I put a 5 because I'm not happy about it, but I agree with it. And then we carried on a little bit more. As I said, this took about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It was about 100 and something, 108 questions. I feel that the different AI control players act differently when on the ball. Not really, to be honest. Are you satisfied with the realism of the ball physics? I thought the physics are okay. They've never been terrible. I gave them a 4. And then we plowed through. How satisfied are with the way players grow tired? I was like, well, yeah, the stamina seems to be all right. They get, you know, it's kind of neutral. How satisfied are with the replay? So this is important. The replays are terrible. As we know, they haven't improved them at all. So that's going to get a 1. And then how satisfied are with the highlights? That's also going to get a 1, no hesitation. The seamless restart was, I thought, good. I had no problems with it. The ball goes out, you throw it back in. There's no need for a transition. You get straight back to the action. I enjoyed performing a goal. I really couldn't care less about the whole celebration thing. When I score a goal on FIFA or PES, I just skip it. Just get back to the game. Next up, we had this one. So you had almost never, sometimes neutral, frequently, and all the time. So you've got to take note of the scoring there. So how frequently do you feel that you're unable to track the ball? I kind of gave 3s and 1s again on this. Nothing deserves a 5 or a 4 because... And this one confused me. How frequently do you feel the new sharp touch dribble skill is too effective in evading defenders? But that hasn't been added to the game. So why is that there? You know, that's a question that we can't answer. So I just put neutral. I don't know. I haven't played the newer build. And then how frequently do you feel they're unable to protect the ball when shielding? I think I just kind of put that as frequently. I don't know. All right, moving on. Next. So now we had, once again, 5 through 1. Strongly agree or do you disagree? And it just spoke about the pacing. I think it's far too slow right now. Not far too slow. Just needs to be cranked up a tiny bit. And yeah, we just kind of plowed through. We don't need to go through all these. You guys go through it yourself. Go and take the questionnaire. The feedback's important. Say you've played 11 plus games. And honestly, just put 1s and 2s because it's the only way that Konami might take note of what we are stating, that this game is in no shape or form ready to do battle with the big leads. Big leagues. Then it spoke about the default camera, the dual camera. I wasn't a fan of it. I do think the zooming out and zooming out is a little bit off. Zooming in and zooming out is a little bit off, and it could be far better. So I kind of gave them 1s and 2s on that. They need to know. And there's the important one. How satisfied are you with the current menu design? That's a massive 1. All day, every day, because it's horrendous. How would you rate the usability of the game plan? I gave it a 2 because it's very dumbed down now. You know, we got 5 tactics and that's it. And then it says, would you recommend this game to a friend? Well, that's a big fat 1, I'm afraid. Right, and then at the end, it just had a very short, would you like to share any other opinions? I couldn't type, so I'm going to fast forward here because I made so many grammatical errors. Can't even talk now. So that's what I put. Menu and color scheme is shocking. More tactics needed. Collisions are broken. Graphics need more work on next gen. I mean, all gens. Refs need tweaking. Goalkeepers still jump way too high and save unrealistically. Game speed needs to be increased slightly. Responsiveness needs work and needs to be snappier. Player ID is now obsolete. Dual camera needs all work also. Doesn't keep up with the action at times. And that was it. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Job is done. So go ahead, folks, go and do the questionnaire, the survey, fill it out, get the feedback going, and maybe we can salvage this game. We can't do anything, but you know what I'm saying. Konami can do something. But we'll be back shortly. Anyway, there it is, folks. Today, I'm going to just try and stay up with the latest news as well as covering a lot of other stuff. I am going to be back once eFootball is launched, though, and that's the thing. That's why a lot of you may be wondering what's going on right now, but it's just because there's nothing to really play a whole lot. FIFA Career Mode's all right. It still doesn't get me too excited, but I'm going to do a Man United one. It's going to be a bit of a laugh. And I'm actually doing all right online as well. I'm in Division 5 in foot. So, yeah, it's been all right. It's keeping me entertained. Anyway, till next time, subscribe for more. Take care. And I'll see you in the next one.